Did you know, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, as reported by the World Record Academy, the world's largest omelet weighed nearly 8,000 pounds and required 110,000 eggs to cook it. It also required 10 chefs and 438 liters of oil. Although that may be a little bit more than what you require to cook an omelet, all omelets require the same basic ingredients and the cooking method. We all eat breakfast, so learning how to cook an omelet can add variation and excitement to your morning routine. Although I am not a chef, I've been cooking omelets throughout college and have learned what I like, and I typically feel fulfilled and enjoy the morning. During this demonstration, I will begin by describing the ingredients I will use. Next, I will describe how to prepare the ingredients, and finally, I will demonstrate how to cook the omelet. First, I will describe the ingredients I will be using to cook the omelet. Because I am only cooking for myself, the ingredients needed are 2 eggs, 1 ounce of cheese, 1 tablespoon of milk, salt and pepper to taste, and cooking spray. You also will need a spatula and a pan. If you are cooking for more than just yourself, you would multiply the ingredients by the number of people you are feeding. So for example, for 3 people, you would need 6 eggs, 3 ounces of cheese, and 3 tablespoons of milk. I will be using a 6-inch pan. However, if you're cooking for more than 1 person, I would suggest using at least a 9-inch pan. Next, I will demonstrate how to prepare the ingredients and cooking materials. First, you will need to make sure your pan is thoroughly coated with cooking oil. The entire surface needs to be cooked so the egg does not stick to the side of the pan. Next, turn your pan to about medium to medium-high heat. Once that is done, and you allow time for the pan to heat, this allows you to give time to mix the ingredients. So since I'm using 2 eggs, I will crack 2 eggs. 1. Here's 2. And really, you just mix the rest of the ingredients. I'm using a cup because, for me, it's easier to clean up and it prevents messes from being made. So I have my 2 eggs in my cup. I will put my 1 tablespoon of milk, and I will mix that with a fork. Again, I use a fork because I use what I have on hand. I don't have a whisk currently. But a fork works. So you continue to mix until it's a consistent yellow color. As you can see, you no longer can see the yolk, and you can't see the egg white, so you know it's thoroughly mixed. Once that is done, I will add salt and pepper. I have these little salt and pepper grinders. You can use whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and mix that over here on the counter. If you're unsure of how much you would need, I would suggest starting with probably 1/8 of a teaspoon of each. So I put the salt and pepper with this mixture, and I will continue to mix. So these are the ingredients prepared. The only thing I haven't added so far is the cheese, but that will come later. Next, I will demonstrate how to cook the omelet. So as I did earlier, I prepared the pan. It is pretty warm now. The bottom is thoroughly coated in oil. So simply take your mixture and pour it in the pan. When you do this, ensure that the entire bottom of the pan is coated with the egg mixture. You place it back on the heat, and you allow it to cook. So during this process, it might take a moment, but as you will see when you start, the surface of the egg will be liquid, but as you continue to cook, the edges will become solid first. To speed up the process, you can kind of mix the mixture, but not too much, as the egg will go up on the side of the pan. While this egg mixture is cooking, I can describe some of the other omelets that you may prepare. A lot of people like ham and cheese omelets. There is such thing as a Denver omelet or an Indian omelet. When I'm not cooking cheese omelets, I typically like to add some green onion, tomato, feta cheese, and black olives. This kind of makes it more of a Mediterranean variety. However, like I said earlier, I'm just going to cook a cheese omelet, which is simple and it's quick in the mornings when you don't have time. So when you look at your pan, you can see the edges of the egg mixture is more matte, while the middle is glossy. This is when you know that the bottom of the egg mixture is cooked and can support the cheese. So what you do with the cheese is you place it in the middle of the pan. So it forms a vertical line down the middle of the egg mixture, and you put it back onto your heat source. I will give it about 10 more seconds before I move to the next step of the cooking process, which is when you fold the egg in half to form the omelet. How I usually do this is I will pick the pan up, kind of tilt it to one side, and allow it to fall over to the other side so it encloses the cheese. At this time, you allow the egg to cook for 1 minute on each side. So as you can see, the omelet now only takes up half the pan, so I'll let it cook for about 1 minute on this side. And after 1 minute is over, I'll go ahead and flip the omelet to the other side. So now I'll let it cook for 1 minute on the other side. Depending on how you like your eggs cooked, you can let it cook for longer or for less. I typically do like a more runny egg, so I will only cook the egg for about 30 seconds on each side. You can tell that the outside of the omelet is cooked as it changes color. As you can see now, there is some brown in this. And I'm satisfied by how much it's cooked, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off. So, finally, the last thing you can do is put your omelet on a plate. And you can enjoy it. Some people like to put ketchup on the omelet or salsa or hot sauce. When I have more time, I will make a little homemade salsa, put it on my omelet, and it kind of gives it a little Mexican flair. So overall, cooking omelets in the morning is a way to mix up your breakfast and enjoy eggs in a different way. With this demonstration, you should be able to understand how to cook a cheese omelet from beginning to end. I wish I could have made an omelet for everybody in our class to taste because it looks delicious, definitely, and I'll let my audience here taste it. So, tomorrow morning, wake up and go ahead and make yourself an omelet for breakfast.